Hey guys, Sam here, and welcome back to another episode of our Leeds United Career Mode series. Thank you so much, boys, for the support on the last episode. You guys just came out of the woodworks. It was like you guys were hiding, and then all of a sudden, we're in the Premier League, and here we go. People are starting to maybe watch this series a little bit more. Over 80 comments at the time of recording for transfer suggestions and stuff like that. 100 likes on the video as well. If we could do that again, guys, smash a like on the video. Thank you so much for the support. We'll kick things off today with a couple of transfer offers. One's for Luke Murphy, who, honestly, I didn't even know who he was. He was out on loan last season. He's come back. Birmingham City want him, and they're offering $1 million, which I'm going to accept, because honestly, I don't know who this guy is. I don't need a 28-year-old 70-rated midfielder. And then Vernon Anita's the other one, and I'm having none of it. Anita is a beast. I do not want to sell Vernon Anita, okay? He's 29, fair enough, but the man's a certified beast. He was an absolute gun for us last season. Now, the biggest talking point of the last episode was actually the question of whether or not we should bring in a financial takeover. And while there were a lot of comments saying no, don't bring in the financial takeover, just grind it out, I think this was the right decision, and I think over 90% of you thought this was the right decision to do the transfer takeover. Now, wait for the lowest financial takeover available. They gave us about 40 million all up. I played around with the budget a little bit, giving us a little bit more in the wage. So all up, we have, let's say, 40 million to spend. I don't know if I'll spend all of it, guys, but I think this is a reasonable amount for a recently promoted team into the Premier League, especially nowadays. I'm not going to go super crazy with it, I hope, but there are a couple players that I want to bring in. So I think 40 million is definitely going to help us just build this squad to a decent level, because as some of you pointed out, this squad does need a lot of work to actually do alright in the Premier League. And we will be playing this season on Legendary difficulty compared to last season on World Class in the Championship. So things are going to be tough for us, and this 40 or so million is really going to help, I think. Now, in terms of transfers, the first person we're going to go for is Christian Benteke. A couple of you guys said to maybe bring back Pierre-Michel Lasogga. I personally want to move on from Pierre-Michel Lasogga, and I could understand the pros and cons to Lasogga. He was good when he was on fire, but he was way too inconsistent for me. And I really want to try out Christian Benteke. I don't know what it is about him. Maybe it's because Palace have just been relegated, I should say, and I want to take advantage. He's going to be taking up a lot of our transfer budget. I'm hoping to get him as cheap as possible. If he goes up to 30 million, if Palace are dead set on 25 to 30 million, I will be going for Chris Wood, or maybe bringing back Lasogga. But for now, Benteke is my main priority. Okay, his base value is £19 million. I'm just going to go for that and see what Palace want. I really hope he doesn't cost too much, because I'm pretty keen on Benteke. Okay, so they're looking at 25 million and a 10% sell-on clause. So, I mean, 25 million for me personally is a little bit too much. I really don't want to be paying 25. If I could get him for like 21, then that'll be acceptable. But 25, it's just too much. Okay, I think this is going to be my final offer. 23 million, but without a sell-on clause. And I don't think they're going to accept this. Okay, so they're stalling. They're going to take some time to think about it. I hope they don't ask for too much more than that. 23 million is a lot. It's more than half our transfer budget to bring in Benteke. So the problem with being a lesser team is that the scout takes forever to get an overall. So we just have to wait at this point in time. Wow. Palace. I mean, Roy, throughout the negotiations, was hell-bent on 25 million. And now they've bumped it up to 28. And that is just disrespectful. I am not having any of that. I'm sorry. Benteke is a great player. I'd love to have him in the team. But that is just way too much. And I can't believe they didn't even settle for like 25 or 24. That's ridiculous. I can't have that. 28 million. Despite having 40 million, we do need to bring in a few players. So that is just simply too much. For those of you that want a Benteke, I'm sorry. I did too. But that's an insult. 28.3 million is an insult. Okay, so this isn't a really big transfer, so I just thought I would do this under the radar while we're waiting for some of the scout reports. I brought in Aaron Ramsdale from Bournemouth. He's a young goalkeeper. He's got very good potential. And at the moment, he's a 65 rated goalkeeper. He's 20 years of age. So I think he can come in as our second choice goalkeeper ahead of Longerin or whatever the hell his name is. And I just thought, like, we didn't really use a backup goalkeeper last season. Vidval played, I think, every single game. So I think it'd be nice to have a second choice keeper to maybe play some of the cup games. And just someone that we can maybe develop into our future starting goalkeeper. I don't know. I think it's a good option. Don't know what you guys think, but just thought I would announce the signing of Aaron Ramsdale. He probably won't be wearing the number 12, though. I'll probably change that. Okay, so the first batch of scout report has come in, but there's still a lot to come. And one of them that have come in is Ruben Loftus-Cheek, and this is a player that a lot of you guys agreed that we should probably bring into the club. He's great young English talent, and I think he'd really fit our team, and he looks quite affordable. So if we can get him for like what they're saying, 5 to 8 million, I'd be very happy with that. And hopefully he could be one of our first major signings of the season. So let's have a look at how much we can get Loftus-Cheek for. Okay, so we're going to start with just undercutting his value by a little bit. Not too much, just to see what kind of negotiation this is going to be. Hopefully he doesn't storm out like he likes doing. Okay, so they're pretty happy with 4.7 million, and that is much cheaper than I thought we'd get him for. They've added a 3% sell-on clause, which I don't think is a really big deal. So I'm very happy with that. 4.7 million for Ruben Loftus-Cheek. Sign me up. His agents come in with an important first-team player. I'm going to see if I can get him on a rotational role. I'm happy to give him important first-team player, but I just want to see. Okay, no. Ruben Loftus-Cheek wants to be an important first-team player, and I don't know if he'll be starting every single game, because our midfield at the moment is pretty airtight. Ronaldo, Vieira, Calvin Phillips, and Saiss as our 3 midfielders, if you want to say it as a 3. Those are pretty much our 3 midfielders, so Loftus-Cheek is definitely a rotational player, but if he doesn't want to accept the rotational role, I'll give him important first-team play. I don't care. I'll lie to his face. I don't give a shit. Now, he's 22 years of age, so realistically, I'd like to get him on a 3 or 4 year contract, and they're okay with that. The contract length is usually something that's quite easily negotiable. Now, in terms of wages, he's on 18k, so I'm going to try and maybe go around 20k. I really never know what to do with a signing bonus. I don't know how to work out a signing bonus. I don't know if you guys have any tips for me to work out a signing bonus, but I never know what to do, so I'm just going to go 20k without a signing bonus, or bonuses at all, and we'll just see what he wants. Okay, so his initial offer is 17k wages with 220,000 signing bonus, and 5 goals gets him another 105k. Now, I don't know if he'll actually score 5 goals throughout the season, but a 220k signing on bonus is the only real thing that I have a problem with there, so maybe we can try and bump that down. Okay, Loftus-Cheek in his Leeds kit. We're going to change the numbers eventually. Messi's in the background. I don't know what he's doing. Overall, 4.7 million, I think, is the main thing to take away from this. That is a great deal for Loftus-Cheek. 22 years of age. Welcome, Loftus-Cheek. Hopefully, there'll be more talent joining you. Can you go away? Like, you should be in Barcelona right now, and you're in fucking Leeds, chilling with me. I know we're good mates, Leo, but fuck's sake, I got work to do here. Okay, so despite these scouting reports not being done, we pretty much know the value and weekly wage for most of these players, so we can maybe start going in for a couple of these players, and the first one I want to go in for is Robbie Brady. He gives us another option on the left-hand side, but as you can see, he could also play left-back, which we kind of need a backup left-back, especially considering that we did lose Borthwick Jackson. Obviously, he was on loan. He went back to Manchester United. So I think bringing in Robbie Brady is not the worst idea. The only problem is his price. I really don't want to be paying more than 10 million for Brady. So this might not work out exactly how we want. Okay, the best I could do was give them Stuart Dallas, who we didn't use at all last season and cost 1.6 million plus 10 million. And the best I could do is to get them to stall. And the reason I didn't show the negotiations was because I really didn't know if I'd be actually even get to this point. I thought Sean Dyche would leave the room. So I didn't show any of the negotiations, but 10 million plus Stuart Dallas, it's not a bad offer. It's not a bad deal. I would probably take it. I just have a feeling that maybe Sean Dyche isn't going to be happy with that. Okay, that's very tempting. The Robbie Brady deal has come down to 10.8 million. Now, Sean Dyche, for the most part, was up in the 12s, around there, 12 million. It's gone down to 10.8. It includes Stuart Dallas. It's definitely something we could look at. And I think it was a deal that most of you wanted to get done. So I'm going to accept this. And we're going to get into personal negotiations with Robbie Brady. And we're going to see if we can bring him into Leeds. It's 10 million. It's a lot of our money. But I think it's the right thing to do. Robbie Brady's come in and he wants a crucial first team role, which I can completely accept that. I mean, he is a very good player. He probably will be our starting left midfielder ahead of Woodburn, so I think it's decent that he wants a crucial first team role. He looks pretty happy. Fucking look at it. He's very, very happy. I can accept the 3-year deal. That's pretty good. That'll keep him here until he's about 29, which is roughly where you want to get people up until. There's not going to be any release clause, which is good. That's how I want it. No release clause. Moving on to his demands in terms of his financials, he wants 45k a week, 670,000 signing on bonus, and he wants an extra million if he makes 20 appearances. Now, he will make 20 appearances. So I'm not down to give him an extra million, completely, if I'm being completely honest with you. First thing I want to do is bump down his wages to 40k. Next thing I want to do is bump down his signing on bonus to about 500 if I can. And then I want to edit that bonus. Let's make it 25 appearances. I can give him a million if he makes 25 appearances, I guess. Okay, unfortunately I've insulted Robbie Brady and his agent, and once again, someone has walked out on me. Okay, now seeing as Robbie Brady, the deal with him has fallen through, I'm thinking about backup left backs, and one man, or one boy, I don't even know what the hell to call him, that sticks out to me is Ryan Sessegnon. I really want to bring in Ryan Sessegnon. I think he's a very affordable, very good player for his price, and I've never used him in career mode. I mean, he's only been in career mode for a couple years, or yeah, literally 2 years, but I've never used him, so I really want to use him, and we're just going to straight up offer a transfer fee. We did lose Borthwick Jackson, so we kind of do need. His value is 2.9. Hopefully that's enough to get him in, and hopefully it doesn't cost us too much. Okay, 3 million. Nice. We're getting some great bargains here. I think this is another good one with Sessegnon, and hopefully his demands aren't too high. Ryan wants a rotational role, so I'm happy to give him that. I think he will be rotational. Berardi's going to need a rest. He's not even the best left back, Berardi, so I don't know. Sessegnon actually has a chance to be our starting left back if he plays well enough. So I'm going to accept this, and yeah, we'll see if he gets that opportunity. Of course, he's a young kid, so I do want to get him on as long of a contract as possible, and it looks like 5 years is acceptable to both his agent and himself. So 5 years is pretty good. Now they want a release clause, and instantly I am not down for a release clause. No way. Especially 8.9 million. If I can get this release clause for like 50 million, then yeah, but they're never going to go for that. So I'm not down for this release clause. I'm completely going to deny it. I don't care if his demands are higher because of it. I am not putting a release clause on Ryan Sessegnon, because the man is a beast, and I do not want to lose him for 9 million in the future. Okay, now his wage is 12.5 at Fulham. I'm going to go for 15, especially considering that we denied the release clause. They're going to want an additional whatever they want on top, so I'm going to just give that and then see what he wants for the signing on bonus. I hope he doesn't find this insulting and walk out of the room. I just want to put the ball in their court and see what they want. Okay, so they're not playing hardball too much here, especially considering the fact that they're meant to increase their demands when you don't give them the release clause. Those don't look too demanding. A signing on bonus of 175k, if he makes 10 appearances, which I think he will, that's another 135k, so that's 300k we're giving him pretty much in bonuses, and then 12,500 per week. I would straight up accept that, but if I can slim it down, or even if I can bump up those appearances, I'm pretty happy with that deal. Alright, so we're going to go for 20 appearances instead of 10. I think they should accept that. Alright, that's it. Ryan Sessegnon agrees to the deal. I'm happy with that. I don't know if he'll make 20 appearances. He for sure will make 10. But overall, I don't know. I don't think that was too bad of a deal for Ryan Sessegnon. Okay, moving right along, we're back with our best mate, Roy Hodgson, and we're going in for Andros Townsend. We do need a left-sided midfielder. I want someone with a bit of pace, and Andros Townsend fits the bill. He's someone who pretty much, at this point, let's say Palace get relegated, he would be on the move. He'd be that guy that wants to reboot his career. And what better opportunity to do it at Leeds? We have 32 million still left in the bank. Considering we need to bring in a striker, I probably don't want to be spending more than 15 million here. So that's pretty much the price range. I'm going to start off though what we've been doing and just going around the current value. And I'm going to be a little bit generous here. I'm going to be a little bit nice to Roy. He's walked out on us a couple of times this episode. We're going to go for 12 million and see what he says. Okay, so he comes back with 16.6. Of course, Roy Hodgson is not thinking about me the way I'm thinking about him. We're definitely going to bump that down. I'm looking at 13. If we can get him for 13, I'll keep the sell-on clause. I'm happy with that. 13 million, 5%. Come on, Roy. You know you want to give me Andros Townsend. You know it. Okay, so after a bit of back and forth, my final offer was 13.5. They're taking it into consideration with the sell-on clause. Hopefully we can get Andros Townsend in. Right, so they took some time to think about it, and they've come back with a 15.1 million transfer sum. Now that's much lower than what Roy was saying, so I'm going to try and be a little bit more generous here and go 13.6. And just try and meet them in the middle. It's not really in the middle at all, but just try and meet them in the middle. And try and get him for a couple of million less, just to save a couple of million. Okay, so they've dropped to 14.5. It's the first time they've gone below 15 million. I'd be happy with 14. Now we're really starting to meet him in the middle. 14 million for Andros Townsend. I don't think that's a bad deal at all. 79 rated, 27 years of age. He's pretty rapid. And yeah, I think this is a good deal. Oh, come on, Roy. You're gonna squander over 400,000. Are you serious? Look, once again, I'll be generous. 14.2. Come on. Fuck me, Roy. Really? 200,000. Oh, fine. 14.4. Fine, Roy. Have it your way. For once, you don't have to storm out of the room. 14.4 million. Get the fuck out of my office. I think it's fair that Andros wants a crucial first-team player role. I can completely understand that. We're going to accept that because he will be our starting left midfielder should we get through these negotiations. Now, a 3-year deal is pretty much perfect. Yeah, keeping him here until he's 30, and then we can think about moving him on. I'm okay with that. He's going to do a job for us in those 3 years. I'm very confident that Townsend will be a good player for us. Andros is backing himself. He thinks he's going to get 25 goals this season, and if he does, he gets 2.75 on top. He wants 50k wages with an 800k signing on bonus. So we're going to try and maybe just bump down the bonus, that's all. The signing on bonus. Everything else looks good to me. He's not scoring 25 goals, and if he does, then he earns that 2.75 million. It's just the 800k. I think we can bump that down a little bit. Okay, he's starting to back himself a little bit less. They've dropped the wages and they've dropped the goals. But they've kept the signing on bonus the same, and that's the one thing that I want to drop. I don't care about paying him £500 less per week. I want to drop this to about 500,000. But everything else, I still don't think he'll score 20 goals, so I'm still happy with that bonus. I don't want that extra 300k going to him. 500,000 signing on bonus. Just take it, Andros. You know it's a good deal. Okay, he is slowly bumping down these goals. He is slowly realizing he's not as good as he thinks he is. But it's still this signing on bonus that I'm not happy with. Maybe 550 will entice them? I mean, I'm not willing to give him 800,000 for signing with us. It's just too much. Took some time to think about it, and they've come back, and it looks like I can't bump down that signing on bonus. And unfortunately, because I was negotiating so much, he's bumped down 25 goals to 15 goals for pretty much a similar bonus for that as well. Again, I don't think he'll score 15 goals this season, and if he does, then congrats to him, he gets 2.65 million. So I'm gonna accept this. It's more than what I want to pay for Andros Townsend, but I want to get him over the line, guys. So I'm just gonna accept this, and Andros Townsend is now a Leeds United player. Now, there's still one last question that must be asked before this episode ends. And I'm leaving it to you guys because I have no idea what to do here. My mind is split on all three of these. In the top right corner, there is a poll. Which of these three would you like as the striker at Leeds United? We have about 17 million, so all three of these are very affordable players. And I'm leaving it up to you guys. Now, I don't usually do this, but I would like to just give a little bit of a story about these three players, a little bit of an explanation as to why I want these three players, and maybe that'll help you guys vote one way or the other, because I think it's a very tough vote. Now, Chris Wood played for Leeds United, left Leeds for Premier League football, didn't work out at Burnley, they've gotten relegated, and now he wants back in the Premier League, and who better to do that with than Leeds United, a team that he played for, and fans that will probably accept him if he starts playing well. Tammy Abraham, fresh off of a loan spell at Swansea, hungry for Premier League football. He's just had a season where he is the starting striker, and he wants that again. He's not getting it at Chelsea. He could get that at Leeds, and he is going to be the main man at Leeds if he's up front. Danny Ings. Now, when I read someone suggesting Danny Ings, I completely forgot Danny Ings played football. I don't know about any of you guys, but I completely forgot he was a striker. I'm like, wow, yes, Danny Ings is a football player. You're right. I try keeping these votes up to you guys, but if it was up to me, I don't know. I think I'm leaning towards Danny Ings as a striker, and I'll tell you why. I forgot he played football. That is the main reason why Danny Ings is probably my main choice right now. And it is still up to you guys, majority wins, but Danny Ings, we could revitalize his career, rejuvenate his career. And that's, I think, what recently promoted teams go for, is players that don't play first team football, players that maybe have fallen off the face of the football world. Danny Ings fits that bill, and wow, what a story it would be if he joined Leeds United and kept us in the Premier League with an amount of goals that was really impressive for someone playing at Leeds United. I mean, he's still not old, he's still in his prime or coming up to his prime. I don't know. It's up to you guys. They're three very different players, but very good strikers. Either way, I would be completely 100% satisfied with any of these three. I think any of these three would be fantastic options. And once we sign a striker, guys, we're ready for the Premier League, which, by the way, the next game will be in the next episode, where we play West Bromwich Albion for our season opener. And hopefully we'll be doing it with a new striker picked by you guys. So please vote in the top right corner. And once we bring in a striker, I'm not sure we need to do anything else. We'll take a look at the squad at that point. We'll see where we're lacking in depth. And we'll see if we need to bring anybody else in, guys. But that's it for today's episode. I hope it wasn't too long. I've been recording for about an hour and a half. But hopefully, most of it was just me simming and seeing which players to go for. So hopefully the episode's not too long. But if you did enjoy it, guys, do leave a like on the video. Leave a like for the fucking Premier League. And leave a like if you're excited for tomorrow's episode, where we're going to sign a striker, play our first Premier League game, and really settle into this Premier League season, guys. Get excited, leave a like on the video, and keep your comments going. But most importantly, vote in the top right corner for which striker you guys would like to see. So thank you so much for watching today's video, guys. I hope you did enjoy today's video. I hope you had a good day. I'll see you guys in the next one very soon. Keep it real.